We'll talk about Chelsea to top today's show. They slumped to their 7th defeat of the Premier League season after they were beaten 2-0 by Everton yesterday. Their gaffer, Mauricio Pochettino, spoke after the game and said that injuries are affecting his side's performances.
It's not to talk about excuses, but I think from the beginning of the season we are fighting with too many injuries. Never the squad is fully fit to try to compete in between them. Always some circumstance that we cannot be solid and consistent. And I think always is something happen. Yes, of course, still we need to improve in different areas.
I really want to hear from Chelsea fans and football fans about Chelsea and Pochettino. 03717223344. Let me rattle off a few stats that I've found. They're not massive stats, but I'm looking at the league table. They're 12th on 19 points, right?
Yeah.
Everton, who of course beat them at the weekend, have had 10 points deducted. They're just 6 points behind.
It's incredible.
Isn't that incredible?
It's wild.
Because everyone's talking about Chelsea. We should. We're not doing it now, but we should pat Everton on the back because from where they were, the 10 points deduction, now they're at the bottom 3. Unbelievable.
But the big thing for me, mate, is that, Man United get criticism and they deserve it, but Chelsea get away with it because everyone's like, oh, it's a project, give them time. No, Chelsea, it's not about that. Ask John Terry if Chelsea is about time. Lampard, Cole, Drogba, no. It's now. And these Chelsea fans want to be winning trophies now, not a project.
Well, Pochettino's come out and said hopefully when the January transfer window opens, they can buy more players. Over £1 billion spent in the last 3 windows. Over £1 billion.
When I seen that quote, I thought it was a joke. When you're having a bit of banter with a reporter, we have to get some more players. What are you talking about? The amount of players they've went and brought. They've got Nkunku to come back from injury. Lavia's got to come back. You can't just keep going, oh, it's not going well. Okay, I need a transfer window. Get more out of these players.
Whose fault is it? The manager's job is to manage.
I think it's a bit of the manager, but some of these players, mate. I watched the Manchester United game, and I'm sure Chelsea fans thought, you know what, this is sort of game now. Teams are going to Old Trafford, having a bit of fun. We should go to Old Trafford and beat Manchester United. The players didn't turn up. No intensity, no passion to play for Chelsea. They were just like walking around. Some of the players. The defending was poor. I think he's got a problem there. Pochettino, they brought a lot of players in who aren't good enough. Mudryk looks like he needs a year's worth of training on a training pitch. Very erratic. We'll make the wrong pass. We'll run into defenders. We'll have a big touch and go too far to the keeper when he's one-on-one. Jackson, for me, is not the answer.
Have they bought anyone? Because they've paid... I think alarm bells should have started ringing when they paid 62 million for Cucurella.
62 million.
115 for Enzo. Are there any players that they've signed that you look at and you go, value for money, goodbye that was?
Not value for money because of the amount they've spent on them, but Caicedo and Fernandes, top players. They are top players, but they're too inconsistent. And when you watch them, they look like they're getting a bit frustrated because they win the ball back, they give it to Palmer counter-attacks, and you've got Jackson and Mudryk, who any other team would have scored 2 in the first half against Manchester United. Wait for the right pass, make it, touch, finish. But they're so erratic up front, and it must be frustrating for midfielders.
Yeah. They've got injuries, but every team at the moment, apart from yours, actually, every team seems to have key injuries. When you look at the problems they've got, we've talked about the manager, we've talked about players, should we be talking more about Todd Boehly? Because for my money, he came into a club that was as bad as it was and as much of a basket case of a club that it worked. Right? Sacking the manager after a year or 2 years, getting a new one in, he won a trophy. They sack him, they kept winning trophies, right? But the backroom staff, he's got rid of, not the backroom staff, but the people involved in recruitment, he's got rid of all of them. He's also got rid of the groundsmen, the people that cuts the grass. He's got rid of everyone that knew what made that club successful. He's come in, he's spent crazy amounts of money on players that you and I and football fans look at and think they don't need him, they've paid too much for him. What they need is a goalkeeper, what they need is a number 9. So they've not identified the problems that Chelsea have. Surely he should take a lot of this blame for where this club is at the moment.
100%. He's tried to come in and bully the Premier League with money. And he's been clever with the 8-year contracts, some of the players.
Is that clever, though?
I think it is a bit clever because other clubs might have thought, we could have done that.
But why aren't they?
Fair play.
That's what would worry me.
Exactly, they should be.
But they must realise that's a problem. Like you mentioned Mudryk, right?
Yeah.
I think he signed an 8-year deal. I might be wrong here. And then they extended it another year, so it was 9. Yeah. I'm pretty sure that's right.
Yeah.
Okay, let's just say I'm wrong and it's 8. But
deal.
I'm pretty sure it's 9. If he doesn't play well, if he looks like he needs to kick up the backside, right? And he doesn't look anywhere near, was it 88 million they paid for him?
Something like that.
He doesn't look anywhere near the amount of money. They can't shift him. He's on crazy money. I don't get how that model is going to work.
You see the problem as well, Andy, is that sometimes players might think, oh, I'm comfortable. Oh, you don't play me, no problem.
Yeah.
I've got another 7.5 years left of 200 grand a week. Happy days. I'm settled. I'm sorted for life. My family's sorted for life. No problem. Where's the hunger to go and earn a new contract? Do you know, Mudryk, young player. How can you have that security as a young player of like, oh, I'm fine for 8 years, no matter what. Okay, I'm not. It's not working. Who's going to go and buy? How much is Mudryk worth now?
Half maximum.
Exactly, half. That's the problem. You tried to be clever and you thought it's worked. How many of that Chelsea starting 11, when fit, would teams like Aston Villa want, Manchester City want, Liverpool want, Spurs want? Would you say maybe Cole Palmer? Colwell? Who else? Who would you name? There's not many. Well, Enzo Fernandez and Caicedo are top players, but they're inconsistent.
Reece James, if he keeps injury free.
He can't.
No, I know.
He's got problems with injuries, which is not his fault, of course. He's captain and wants to play. But you look through that Chelsea squad and you're like, really? It's £1 billion squad of players?
Three windows.
What does Pochettino want in January? What does he want? Another... Will 300 million do it? Do you want 4? What do you want?
Let me ask you, I want to take calls on this. Let me ask you a quick word about Pochettino. Their aim, Chelsea, is of course to get back in the top 4, to win the Premier League and to win the Champions League. That's their long-term aim. Is Pochettino the man to bring that back?
I think he deserves a chance. I think, he's not been there long. I think he definitely deserves a chance. I would never say now Pochettino's got to go. But the problem is, Andy, is that you brought in all these players. Not all of them are Pochettino's players, but he's got to get the best out of them. Because Todd Boehly's probably saying, well, sorry, but they've got 8-year contracts. They're unsellable. You're not going to go and sell Mudryk for 40 million now.
No.
These players, you've got to get the best out of them. But look at the results since he's come in. Look at it here. Draw, loss, win. Loss, draw, loss, win, draw, loss, win, draw, loss, win, loss. That inconsistency is not Chelsea.
No.
You go to Chelsea, mate, like under the Mourinho era, under the John Terry era, and you're like, oh, I think we got done 6 or 7 there. Just know you're going to get a hiding.
5 wins. 7 defeats for Chelsea in the Premier League.
Exactly.
Nuts.
And I think the biggest stat that we've got to look at is the fact that Everton, like you said, have lost 10 points. And look where they are in the table. Everton are 6 points
behind. 6 points behind. Frightening.
It's disgusting.
talkSPORT Drive. Super opinionated sporting debate. Monday to Friday afternoon from 4 on AM, on DAB, via the talkSPORT app and on your smart speaker. talkSPORT.